Good evening, and welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm William Pasquale, Vice President of Corporate Initiatives here at Next Level Trainings. Next Level is a transformational training organization that supports people in unlocking their power, passion, and purpose. Our corporate offerings are packed with compelling experiential and interactive tools to create an unstoppable business. Designed to support teams in shifting their mindset, strategies, and perspectives, our programs will train your teams to become agile and operate from a place of leadership regardless of their circumstance. Tonight, I have the honor of interviewing one of our clients, Jenny Cups with the Duracell Corporation. Jenny is a passionate business leader with 16 years of experience at Procter Gamble and Duracell, managing multifunctional teams to deliver record-breaking results. She's a sales and team leader with experience in business development, national category strategy and planning, team training and development, speaking, and coaching. Her primary purpose is to empower others to reach their greatest potential. And here is Jenny Cups. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, William.
Good evening. How are you?
Doing great. Good to see you.
Great to see you as well. And thank you for taking the time out to meet with us and do this interview here on Behind the Scenes. Just to kind of intro things, I gave it, the general description of what you do in your background, the quick bio. Please tell us a little bit more about your role at Duracell and the work of your team.
Yeah, great. So I'm the Vice President of Sales for our U.S. grocery business. So we have a multifunctional team made up of primarily salespeople, but also finance, product supply, operations, marketing. And our job is to manage our Duracell business with our top customers who are primarily grocery retailers. So wherever you go grocery shopping, William, if you see Duracell on the shelf, my team's responsible for that product placement.
Awesome. Let's say I definitely know. I mean, out here where I live in the greater Philadelphia area, I see them in Acme and I think I see stuff in Wegmans. So, I definitely know the power of the Duracell brand, and it's quite impressive across the globe. And we're happy to have you as one of our first clients. What was happening in your business before bringing Next Level Trainings into Duracell? And what have been some of your challenges?
Yeah, so I'd say historically, one of the challenges of our team is being siloed. We have over 40 different customers that we serve, and we're all over the country, so we're very spread out. So pre-COVID, we'd get together on a quarterly basis when we were able to, and we'd have a few people share and reapply best practices, but we weren't really leveraging all the ideas and tools from across the team of almost 50 people. And then during COVID, when we all went to working home offices, we became even more siloed, first of all. And then we learned how to leverage our technology. But even then, people, weren't necessarily comfortable coming on camera or speaking up or sharing their ideas. And so I just had this, my intuition was there was a lot of untapped ideas and potential that we were not quite reaching, and especially with COVID. And I'll say also with COVID, our entire business changed. People stopped shopping everywhere except for grocery stores. So my business went through the roof. Batteries were wiped out. We were trying to figure out how to keep it on shelves.
Yep.
And everything was changing about our customers. They're trying to figure out how to offer products for delivery and pickup. And so everything we were doing was changing during COVID.
I'm about to say, did batteries run off the shelf at the same rate as toilet paper? I'm just curious.
Not quite toilet paper, but it was one of the top handful of categories. So we were lucky enough to be able to keep it in supply, but it was constantly being wiped out on the shelf.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is that you were really trying to come up with a bunch of new creative ideas and trying to find additional ways of doing that. Yes. And so what brought you to the idea of saying we should really reach out to the folks at Next Level and what they do?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough during COVID last summer to go to one of Chris Hawker's shift weekend trainings. And that's where I really took to heart a lot of the tools and skill sets of using your brain as your number one tool to creating possibilities, creating lots of solutions, not just the normal 3 or 4 regular ones that we're used to doing. and really, making a list of 50 ideas, getting to the crazy, getting to what's possible, getting to win-win solutions. So I learned the power of transformational training and mindset, and shifting your mindset and opening yourself up to possibilities. And I brought that back to my team. At the time, I was the Kroger team leader. Our top account on my team today is Kroger as a customer.
Right.
And so I was leading a team of 6 people to create entirely new possibilities. And one of the fastest growing, most agile businesses that Duracell had in the US. And it was awesome. And I saw the potential to unlock the entire team and what we could provide to our customer by using some of these tools that I had learned.
That's fantastic. I mean, and Shift is one of the training programs that we're now utilizing within the corporate realm of Next Level Trainings. So that's definitely great to hear that was your experience with that, and that that it went very well, and it just blossomed the idea that maybe there's additional idea about the brainstorming. So with that, in the past, what was been your experience with brainstorming and the level of ideas that it produces?
Yeah, I can think back to several brainstorms that we've done in the corporate world, big teams of people. My experience is that we generate a few ideas. They didn't always, go somewhere from that. And I think as I reflect back on those brainstorming sessions, it seems like sometimes there were a lot of brilliant people in the room, but only a handful of voices being heard or people feeling comfortable to speak up. And then a lot of times it sometimes felt like, leadership would come in with a certain motive, or they were looking for certain outcomes. And so we weren't really fully trusted to bring all of our ideas. And so I saw the ego in the process, I would say, either from leaders or, people not feeling comfortable to speak up and speak out and bring their unique ideas. So it did sometimes feel like a lot of time wasted for a few ideas that maybe never even went anywhere.
And so with that, I mean, all of a sudden now you're introduced to the concept of the blue sky methodology when it comes to brainstorming. What did you see was the big difference between where you were in the past with how you were doing it in the past? Because, I mean, we're talking Duracell Corporation here. This is not a place that doesn't have brilliant ideas. I mean, you guys are just doing some of the most cutting edge things when it comes to energy and delivering that type of power right into people's homes. What did you see was the big change with that? I mean, we've seen just certain results because we've worked from you, but hearing it from you would be just really validating.
Yeah, so specifically, I'll give you the quick backstory on this too. So I got promoted to oversee the total grocery channel in March. And I think the day I accepted the job, I was told that I had a 3-day team meeting, and that the agenda was handed over to me, and I was going to deliver this 3-day team meeting and agenda in less than 2 weeks. And the first thing that crossed my mind was, holy cow, I am so excited to step into this role to lead this amazing team. I lead the most talented team at Duracell with the best track record of delivering results. And I knew there was so much more potential to unlock. So the first thing I thought was, who can tap into that potential immediately for my team and unleash them? And the first person I thought of was Chris Hawker. And I didn't even know if it was possible, but I knew what he had unlocked for me. And I knew he was the first trainer I wanted to get in front of my team for my very first team meeting in my new role. And it was brilliant. So we did it the first day, the end of our first day of the 3-day meeting. And not only was the session powerful, it unlocked everyone's voice. We had 100% participation, people smiling and excited who had been afraid to come on camera before. And so I think a lot of it was just the tools that we learned in transformation, but also setting the ground rules that everyone's voice matters. Everyone gets to participate, stay in possibility, build on ideas, say yes, not no, don't shut it down, don't get narrow, be expansive, and everyone can be creative. And so it really invited the entire team to participate, even people who thought, I don't know anything about sales, I'm a demand planner, or I'm a finance person. everyone was contributing ideas. And so what I saw was a team that was unlocked, unleashed, collaborative, coming up with brilliant ideas, building on each other's ideas, and having fun. And so not only was it a brilliant session with Chris Hawker, but the next 2 days of my meeting were different than I've ever seen this team. There was more talking, collaborating, idea sharing. People felt comfortable to speak up and use their voice and share their unique ideas and brilliant ideas with the team. And it didn't stop there. I mean, I'd be happy to share more, but it really did transform and unlock my whole team.
Feel free to keep going. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, like, I remember during the initial session, just the volume of ideas was just massive. I mean, Chris and I just remember Chris and I standing back just going, this is awesome. I mean, not like we didn't expect anything less from Duracell, but I mean, it just even impressed us. And then the further we went along in the different workshops that we've done with you, we've noticed that, an incredible team, but just how heavy the volume of ideas are. So, I mean, I guess one of the things that could kind of follow up with that was, what are some of the results, both the tangible and intangible? We've been talking a little bit about it, but what are some of the results, tangible or intangible, that you've seen from bringing next level trainings in this blue sky methodology to brainstorming?
Yeah, that's perfect. So first of all, there were a few things about the session that were brilliant. Number one was the specific tools and skills. So people walked away with a skill set of how to design a brainstorm that works. And so not only did we generate ideas during that session, but I had teammates go and schedule their own brainstorming sessions. So a few weeks later, someone did a brainstorming session. You don't find Duracell at Whole Foods, for example. We're trying to figure out, how could we break into Whole Foods? We did a 2-hour brainstorming session with our team to generate ideas and things that we never thought of. And everyone participated. It was multifunctional. So there were people there who were Whole Food shoppers, but they don't normally sell to customers. And so we were really able to unlock all kinds of new creative ideas, but we had the tools and the skill set that Chris taught us to really unlock new ideas beyond that session. And then as we work with our creative partners and marketing agencies now, we recommend brainstorms in this similar way, not telling them the methodology, but being very specific about how we want to break out into small teams using the technology. So that was another key part of the training that we learned, is breaking out into groups of less than 6 and having people that don't normally work together. So you get a lot of different cross-functional ideas and creativity flowing within these small groups. And so now we've been practicing breaking out into groups of 4 and then coming back together, and then maybe groups of 2 to discuss the best ideas they heard. And so we learned all that during our session, and we've been doing it ever since. So I think number one, yes, the list of ideas during the session were outstanding. Number 2, the entire team is unleashed and unlocked, and they're doing it every day now. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. Number 3, we're doing our own sessions now. Number 4, the team has said everyone in Duracell should take this training, because now we're bringing them so many ideas, and we see people who are hole poking and who are trying to play small and trying to, shut down new possibilities. And we're like, no, you get to do the training too. So I think that's, a little bit more of the intangible in terms of how the team is showing up and what they're creating. But I know for sure, I could say, at least a quarter of the new ideas that we bring to market this fiscal year will be a direct result of this training. And we've spread it beyond our food segment team to our drug segment team, and it's going to create real value and results for our company.
That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Yesterday, interesting that we're doing this interview tonight is that yesterday we had done an additional training for your group, getting into the whole relationship side, and since it's sales teams, talking about looking at different personalities and how that impacts sales, and how your team can approach that. What was your experience of that methodology and bringing that into your team? I know it's really fresh and new, so you might not have stories about how that impacted you. But knowing you actually might have I knew that you actually might, but I wasn't sure. So figured I didn't want to miss the opportunity to let everybody know what that was like for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So yesterday we talked about the 4 personality quadrants with the total team and identifying your, most common style and how to flex into other styles. And then we talked about style flexing between the 4 different personality quadrants when we're in front of our customers, because sometimes they're going to bring a salesperson, a marketer, a finance person. And so they're all going to have different styles all in one room. And so we were able to brainstorm not only how we can style flex internally within our teams, how we can complement one another within our teams, knowing our different styles, but how we can show up to our customers and resonate and communicate with them in, a way that resonates with everyone in the room. So that was brilliant during the session. And then what I can share today was day 2 of our meeting. Everyone incorporated it from the very beginning. People were showing up, and before they'd get into their presentation topic, they'd say, I'm going to hit on 4 things for all 4 of the quadrants. And as we're brainstorming other ideas, someone said, oh, well, that sample kit, we should make sure that hits on all 4 of the quadrants. So they're already integrating it and bringing that to our ideas that we brainstormed today. So yeah, I didn't even get to share that with you yet, but
Yes.
the team is really taking these skills to heart. And so that tells me, here's what's brilliant about both trainings. And this is why next level trainings, I think, is phenomenal, and transformational training is that you have a very tangible skill set. You get the tools that you can take with you. So for your analyzers, steps 1 through 4, but then it's very experiential. You get to experience it, you get to practice it, you get to break out into small groups. I feel like we're not used to that in corporate America. We're not used to getting vulnerable and practicing new things in front of people that we work with. So I feel like the team is really taking these to heart and integrating them faster than most other trainings that I've seen.
That's amazing. So I think, at least the final question that I have before we open it up to people that are online, just to answer maybe a couple or few questions is, what would you say is truly different about next level trainings?
What's different for me is the mindset knowledge. So I think it is the emotional intelligence, the transformational training, but really knowing how to, number 1, unlock the potential of everyone in a training. Number 2, another thing that is unique, frankly, is the technology. Being such experts at Zoom and Zoom trainings and how to make it fun and interactive and break out into groups and come back together and have music. And that was different for us in corporate America. We don't have other trainings like that. So the fact that it's experiential, it's a really fun virtual session, is just icing on the cake. But really it is being able to understand how the mind works and the power of mindset for all of these topics. It goes much, much deeper than what we normally experience and learn in corporate America.
Wonderful. I really appreciate all the kind words and just, what you think about, the organization and your experience so far. And we're looking forward to continuing, deepening the relationship with Duracell Corporation and going even in throughout. But I'll open it up and see if anybody has any questions, just in case. I'm not sure at this point if we have that or whether we'll just be wrapping up, because that could also be the case, because you just never knew. And I'll just give it a minute or 2. Did you have any questions for me?
Sounds good. Yeah, while we're waiting, I always have questions.
Sure.
I'm always learning. I'd love to hear about some of the other corporate offerings that you have beyond the couple that we've done at Duracell so far.
Let's say, are there more workshops you think that would benefit companies? Was also just asked. But so some of the different workshops that we offer. I mean, a lot of what we're doing is, we're offering to corporations. Let me see if I can put this on me now. Try that. We'll change it up. So some of the corporate trainings that we offer are the shift workshop that Jenny had mentioned a little bit ago. Another one called Accelerate, which just, they're really complementary to each other. We're also doing some of these for nurses, and we offer nursing continuing education credits through some of these trainings as well in the state of Ohio. We also have separate smaller workshops that can be customized and tailored. A lot of them, all of these really can be, but like specifically, we do team building and team visioning. We can do stuff on communication and sales, which we call Sales Works. We do one that's called Service Works. This is really for more service-based organizations. But the most important thing is that Next Level has this really customizable set of tools and workshop skills that we can customize to the needs of the organization. So when somebody like a Duracell or other companies come to us and they say, we have this specific need we're trying to work through, we can go through our toolbox of things that we know that work with an emotional intelligence and bring that to bear and really bring a bespoke result to it to come up with the most tangible results. So that would be my answer to that. And that does seem to be the big question that was in there. So with that all said, Jenny, I appreciate you taking time out of what I know is a very busy schedule. And I want to thank you so much for your time. And, maybe we'll get a chance to do this again sometime again soon. And to everybody else that's on the broadcast, thank you for logging in and taking a watch tonight. And thank you. Have a good night.
Great. Thank you, William. Thanks, everyone.